Guilty, guilty, guilty. One of MAGA's largest funders, their sugar daddy, if you will, Miles Guo, who self-exiled himself from China back in 2015 after being brought up on corruption charges there, fled to the U.S. where he created various investment vehicles. He was accused of cheating investors out of over $1 billion while he pursued an agenda that was aimed at opposing President Xi in China. But the ultimate view was that that was really just kind of a pretext for him to engage in a grift and a fraud and take all of this money from investors. He employed some of the top MAGA operatives, formed various foundations with Steve Bannon. He funded Steve Bannon, by the way, who's also currently incarcerated right now. Some of the other MAGA individuals who were employed or who were paid by Miles Guo include individuals like Jason Miller, Giuliani, Peter Navarro, who is also in jail, who's now has been released today, Trump National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, Turning Point USA Chief Charlie Kirk, and Trump campaign spokesperson Caroline Levitt. And of course, Miles Guo supporters believe that if Trump were to ever disgrace the White House again, Miles Guo would be immediately pardoned because Guo used his fraudulent schemes eventually to fund a lot of the kind of MAGA activity that was out there. That was what it was alleged. That's what the jury found. Steve Bannon was actually an unindicted co-conspirator in the criminal case against Miles Guo. So Guo was convicted of 9 out of the 12 charges. He was convicted of charges, though, that included racketeering, fraud, and money laundering after deliberations by the jury. Sentencing of Miles Guo is scheduled for November 19th. He could probably spend the rest of his life behind bars if he's not pardoned in the future. He's been in prison since his arrest in March of 2023. Just an interesting personal story. I was in Manhattan when he was arrested. I was actually at a building across from the $60 million penthouse where Guo lived, and Guo's apartment was on fire the day the arrest took place. So Guo had like a $3.5 million Ferrari, $1 million Lamborghini, $37 million yacht, like $1 million chandelier, the $60 million penthouse, and more like that, more stuff like that. And it was argued that basically he would, try to find investors who were part of the diaspora, left China, who opposed President Xi, to basically create kind of a phony political platform when there should be a very serious one calling out the humanitarian violations in China. But that Miles Guo basically did this because he was going to be brought up on charges in China, so he left. He created this kind of phony movement to basically then, defraud those who believed in him, saying that he guaranteed that he would have returns on investment, but basically stole all of their money and then used it to fund this lavish lifestyle and then to fund the operations by MAGA. Remember when Steve Bannon was first arrested on the We Build the Wall scam, which Donald Trump then pardoned him for, where Steve Bannon was alleged to set up this GoFundMe account and then used the money to enrich himself. Others in that fraud scheme pled guilty and were not pardoned, but Bannon was pardoned before he went to trial there. He's now being brought up on charges for the same thing in New York. Bannon was on the yacht of Miles Guo at the time when he was arrested. We covered here these events where Miles Guo was, where they would throw these events for Miles Guo or at Miles Guo's compound. At the beginning of the video where they were saying free Miles Guo, you saw Steve Bannon saying that that was at an event at Miles Guo's compound. But let me just show you this clip right here. This is Steve Bannon with kind of Miles Guo's crew right here. They'd always bring these people on like his network, because they were like his major backers, and they were one of the major financial backers that created all this MAGA media in 2017 and later. So just here, play this clip.
I want to thank, look, tonight we're going to be back and forth all night. We know our audience loves hearing all the stories from you freedom fighters. We want to thank the new federal state, the whistleblower movement, Miles Guo, everybody associated with G News and GTV. We anticipate a big night. We're going to be here to the end. And what I love is that the sophistication. Last night I was on your show at the W Hotel, where they had a whole studio, and then tonight you're here on the rooftop overlooking the Capitol. We look forward to having you back later in the show when we got some results to show Lao Beijing, old 100 names, how the deplorables stepped up today and won this for President Trump.
Thank you.
Ludo, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
And just so you see, this is a video of Miles Guo. And here are the types of videos he would make to supporters who he was stealing money from. Here, play this clip.
The last time Pompeo went to Taiwan, the power outage was definitely caused by the CCP's People's Liberation Army. From today, Taiwan's transportation, electricity, water, and airport networks will be in danger. According to our intelligence sources, the CCP wanted to launch a Son of Taiwan operation to cut off Taiwan's power and water supply, create chaos in Taiwan, and then seize the opportunity to defeat Taiwan.
Now, it should be noted that these connections run very, very deep. And you may remember some of the reporting that we also did, where, remember, in October of 2020, so right before the November 2020 election, there was a secret meeting that was held at one of Miles Guo's compounds, and Steve Bannon was there. Remember, Miles Guo's funding all this stuff. So Steve Bannon's there, and he's telling Guo's executives and Guo's team, he's saying, look, I'm going to tell you what Trump's going to do. And Bannon didn't know that this was going to be recorded. No matter what the outcome is, we're going to declare victory and we're going to try to steal the election, regardless of what happens. That was at Guo's compound. So remember this audio? That's just to show you the connections here. Here, play this clip.
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody, and I wouldn't lose any voters. That quote came to mind last week when audio from Trump advisor Steve Bannon surfaced from October 31st, 2020, just a few days before the presidential election. Let's listen.
And what Trump's going to do is just declare victory, right? He's going to declare victory. But that doesn't mean he's the winner. He's just going to say he's the winner. The Democrats, more of our people vote early that count. Theirs voted mail. And so they're going to have a natural disadvantage, and Trump's going to take advantage of it. That's our strategy. He's going to declare himself a winner. So when you wake up Wednesday morning, it's going to be a firestorm. Also, if Trump is losing by 10 or 11 o'clock at night, it's going to be even crazier. No, because he's going to sit right there and say they stole it. If Biden's winning, Trump is going to do some crazy shit.
And of course, 4 days later, President Trump declared victory when his own campaign advisors told him he had absolutely no basis to do so. What the new Steve Bannon audio demonstrates is that Donald Trump's plan to falsely claim victory in 2020, no matter what the facts actually were, was premeditated. Perhaps worse, Donald Trump believed he could convince his voters to buy it, whether he had any actual evidence of fraud or not.
Also on the floor of Congress, you had the MAGA Republican Congress members would support Miles Guo, like here was George Santos standing in solidarity with Miles Guo. Play the clip.
It is with great dismay but complete confidence that I say that the weaponization of the United States prosecutorial system is spinning further out of control, and it is time we take a stand. It shows when we have a national crime crisis failing by the wayside because political motivated campaigns designed for nothing other than retribution on political agitators keep getting in the way of our leading law enforcement officials who refuse to prioritize the American people. With each passing year, it is becoming increasingly obvious that the CCP is accomplishing its goal of infiltrating the United States indigenously, and all the while perpetrators, the real threat to the American people, are let out on the streets, and harmless political targets remain behind bars with justice denied. Mr. Speaker, I speak for every American when I say we are done tucking our tails and being at the losing end of every trade-off with the CCP. They take our jobs, use our technology, and steal our intellectual property. And it is turned we get robbed, spied, and deadly viruses. Enough is enough. Free Miles Guo. I yield back.
The chair recognizes the gentleman from Missouri.
Here's just the longer version of that clip that I was showing at the beginning of this video of Steve Bannon holding court with a little rally for his sugar daddy, Miles Guo. Play this clip. And then, you know, they have like the whole MAGA team there, like Forgaccio Blow. Remember the guy who's always with like all the MAGA influencers? This is like one of the top Republican influencers today. He wears the Trump gold chain and he hangs out with, you know, Amber Rose and with Alina Habba and everybody, the MAGA rapper. You know, he's there. They make the MAGA rap songs for Miles Guo. Here, play the clip.
Hey, what's up, Patriots? 4G Auto Blow, my boy DVS 7.0. Today we dropped a brand new album. That's right, the Free Miles Guo movement. The album's out. It's number 5 right now on the iTunes charts. We are here right now with the NFSC event, 3rd annual. What is it called today?
The 3rd anniversary for the NFSC founding. This is the NFSC base. We're about to have a huge celebration. Perform a lot of songs on the album.
It's a party. So listen, if you want to fight for freedom of speech like every other patriot does, click the link right now. Let's get us to #1. Let's do this again. We got them on Boycott Target. Now we're coming with another project. Let's go.
Free Miles Guo.
So undoubtedly, you know, the corruption runs deep there. Here, by the way, this was another speech given at Miles Guo's compound recently by George Santos. Play the clip.
I want you all to think about the guy who bought everybody in this room, and that's Miles Guo. He can't be with us today because Miles is a prisoner of the CCP in the United States. Can you imagine that? Miles is a prisoner not being given his right to fight for his freedom in liberty and to defend himself in liberty because the CCP has its clutches so deep into everything that I don't believe he will have a fair trial. That's why I said on the House of the United States floor, proudly, enough is enough. Free Miles Guo. You have to do it. This isn't political. This is a human right. This is a humanitarian crisis that we're facing. There's such bigger, important issues that we should be addressing in our country today. Yet, our country seems to go towards political persecution of political adversaries far too often.
So again, the headline is Miles Guo guilty on 9 of the 12 counts, guilty of racketeering and fraud for stealing from his investors and using it to fund his lavish lifestyle and then to fund all of the MAGA stuff. So he was Steve Bannon's right hand. I mean, Bannon was his right hand and helped him with all of this. That's why Bannon was an unindicted co-conspirator in this. But we will keep you updated with more. But Guo will be in jail, and we'll see if he's extradited to China, where he's been brought up on lots of charges there as well. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million together.